Past few weeks have been kind of crazy. A lot of events happened at the same time. Just when I started filming. I think it's someone washing the windows. I'm just gonna sit a little bit further away from the window. So a lot of things happened at the same time these past few weeks. I have been a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of activity, honestly, and I just wanted to share a little bit about how that happened. Kind of also go into how I started up my business again, because I've been out of it for a few months. Financially, it was not going well, and I just had to kickstart it again. I've been a full-time artist for 7 years now, so I didn't start from nothing. I obviously had some contacts already exist, so I didn't go from nothing, but still I think it could be quite insightful if you have also been at like a slow time, like what are all the things you can do? For me, it started out by planning. And by planning, I mean, what are the things that are going on right now that I can either monetize or I can be more resourceful about. So for me, I knew I had one life illustration thing going on, but I emailed every client that I ever had saying, hi, I am back, or hey, these are the clients that I've had. Just saying, hey, maybe you have some event going on that might be a good fit. Then I looked at my other illustration jobs. I emailed all those people. I had a few workshops planned. Thing is, I did not feel like teaching workshops at the start because I was going from a very emotional time, and it's just not the time that you want to be in front of a group of people explaining things in a nice, fun, humoristic way, maybe. I knew also that I kind of had to get into that again. So I picked up those workshops again. I postponed all the workshops that I had planned, and I just went in, okay, how can I make this fun for me again? Do I need a new theme? Probably not. Can I revisit another theme that I already did? Yes. So I planned in some dates that I already had, and also the dates that were new, just until the summer. Like, summer is quite not that busy for workshop. A lot of people go on holiday, so I also emailed every person that ever emailed me about group workshops. So as you can hear, it's life illustration emails, acquisition, as you may call it. It was illustration jobs that I called and emailed everyone, and it was workshops that I called and emailed everyone. Definitely did not get replies from everyone, but if only like 2-3 people would reply, then I knew it would start something again. Because I had that life illustration job, someone else saw me working there, and every time I go out and do something like that, I meet a lot of people, and people get back to me on other things. So I got emails about commissions for portraits, for pets, for other life illustration jobs, for workshops, anything. That's the whole event kind of part of my business. Then I also had a smaller thing, and that was a zine that I created last year. And I figured I had about half of them left. I wanted to get them out there more. I emailed a few bookshops and a few zine shops that I knew that would be a good fit. And if they wanted to carry my zine on consignation. And a few of them replied, not everyone replied, but a few good ones replied, and I made a list of those bookshops. Changing the scenery here because I saw someone flying past my window again. So in short, I did a lot of acquisition emails, did a lot of promoting, honestly, promoting and getting myself out there. Then at the same time, some events started happening. So I happened to join a group exhibition of a week. I luckily had nothing to do with it. I just had to make sure the work was available and that it could be picked up. Then I applied to every open call that I could find. I got selected for an open call with reso printing, which I really wanted to do more of, and that had an exhibition. Then a project that I joined almost a year ago happened to also have an opening, which led to more promotion. All those things all happened at the same time. So it was a little bit crazy. I also got rejected from one thing that I almost thought sure to be included in, but I was not included, which is also a nice reality check for yourself sometimes. And at the same time, those life illustration jobs that I did might lead into other work. With one of the clients, actually, I'm doing a collaboration on workshops, which is going to be at the end of July. And I'm just trying to be really conscious of every opportunity that gets in front of me and how I can get more of that. So it's been a lot of financially driven work, honestly, and not as much art-related work, since the financial aspect of my business just needed a lot of attention, and I just did not have the resources to just dive into painting. Even though there were some moments in that really busy time to still pick up my paintbrushes and do something. And I think it might have actually been because I had such limited time that I really used those few hours to work on the paintings. And I'm not sure yet what I want to do with those paintings, but that doesn't matter. I know that that is what I love doing, and that's like my long-term thing. I haven't dealt with every opportunity that I've seen so far, because I noticed at some point, like, I get a little bit overwhelmed, so I have to reset and then get back to it again. And this is also not a tempo that I personally can keep at. I know at some point I have to slow down, otherwise it's too many different things at the same time. I get overwhelmed and then nothing gets done. One thing that I also wanted to touch upon was that I started filming a creative course and a business book. So those are already two things. I know I can't do this things at the same time, but my brain is like, yeah, we can do the same things. And then one thing doesn't get finished. I start the other one, that thing doesn't get finished. So I have to kind of pick and choose which one to finish first. I think it's going to be the creative course for now, since that one is literally almost done. The thing that I wanted to touch upon was that I felt really fragile in that time of not physically working and being there, and actually also just not having any income. And I want to see if I can protect myself a little bit more from that by doing more digitally. I already have a Patreon, but that's just like a drop, a drop in my income, which I really appreciate and is amazing, but it's literally the only income I had, along with like 20 euros in AdSense for YouTube. That just continued. It really made me realize how fragile my business is if I'm not there to promote it, and if I'm not there to physically do the workshops, the life illustrations, the promoting, the drawing, the painting. If I'm not there, there's nothing. And I think I have always had this cliche image of people that sell online courses and they're all bad. But then actually going to an event made me realize that the people that are selling those courses that I think are not worth it I would never buy anything from them. But then there's like this huge gap of creative courses that are actually good. And I think mine will be good because I know I teach them physically in workshops as well. It's just going to be a digital version of that. Where are the good ones? Just been like, I know I'm sounding a bit vague, but it was just such an eye-opener. Like, wait, not every course is bad. I've just been feeling like that. It's like saying all books are bad. It's just a genre of things, and I had that same feeling. I also am not an artist that will be only having an income from courses. No, would be nice if it's that successful. I'm still an artist first. It just happens to be something that might make me a little less fragile next to my physical being there to paint and to teach and to show up for events. Because I noticed it was just rough. And especially if you feel bad, you do not want to show up. You do not want to be anywhere. But since you're self-employed, you have to kind of pick yourself up and just do all the things. I've been in this hyperdrive. I also got sick. And that always happens when I do too many things. I kind of could feel it coming, but then there were these responsibilities and you just roll with it. And it happens, and I lost my voice, couldn't finish the course. I'll pick it up later. Sometimes it's just like that. And always with May, June, those months are like the busiest months. Somehow everyone, every gallery, every event space, every whatever plans their events during that time, and then the summer is really quiet. But I took every opportunity. So I went to a lot of events and also networking things, artist talks, and there's just a lot of opportunity again. So to sum it all up, if you're feeling stuck, and what I did, if you're feeling stuck in your business and you want to revive your art business again, the first thing I did was reach out to all the people that I've ever worked with. Whether it's events, clients for illustration, clients for workshops, I emailed everyone. I did not filter. I just emailed everyone personally. Hey, this is what I've been doing. For workshops, I made like a new comprehensive PDF with different pricing so that it would have a reason to reach out again. And I think that definitely helped. Like, I got a few reactions of people that are going to be back in later months, so like September, October, November. But they had like this spark of interest again. Then I looked at all the products that I still had. Prints I'm keeping for myself. The zines I wanted to bring to new places. So I reached out to bookshops that fit my work. Some reached back out, some didn't. And it led actually to me only having like 20 pieces left. It's not a big money maker because it's on consignment and shipping is pretty expensive, but it might lead to good, I hate the word, but good exposure in different places that I cannot physically be. If they get sold, it also just gets back to me and I won't really lose any money on it anyway. Plus, if they're big stores, because some stores are quite big, it just gives me a bit more credibility. Then for the prints, I actually did not mention it, but I had one art market planned. I got reached out to for another art market. It just happened to happen that way because of the context that I already had. And then I thought, since I'm doing two, why not join more? So I signed up for another one that it actually had like an open call sort of thing, but I got picked out. I'm doing that one on Sunday. And then I thought, wait, maybe we should do even more. So every time I heard people talking about art markets that might fit my work, because that's an important part, you don't want to just join any art market. You really want to make sure that the people that get there are actually interested in buying art or in buying illustrations or prints or whatever. Every time I heard someone saying something about an art market, I just noted the art market and reached out right away. And I actually probably have one in September and in December now as well, like a Christmas market. And the nice thing is that that last one happened because I was so busy with all the art markets that people started reaching out to me like, hey, you want to join this one too? Those are, for me, not like the big money makers. But since I was so fragile in my financial situation, it was just quick. Like you show up, you make a bit of money, and then you can either pay your regular costs, or you can invest it in something else that will make you more. So it's just a quick thing. It was kind of a balance of making quick money, but like smaller things, and then investing in the long term, like making a course, for example. It's not gonna get me anything right now, but it might make more in the future. I can't focus right now on things that only will make me money in the future because I really need it right now. Then there's one more thing that I can't really talk about yet, but that's like a big one, and I am just not sharing anything about that, but that's really cool. And that's also something that I reached out to myself, and it just happened to all collide and fit into each other. So You'll see more about that like later. So right now I'm noticing, since working for like 2 months into Hyperdrive, doing everything has been a little bit much, that I need to take some days off, reassess where I'm at right now. I do a little bit of painting here and there now, since I feel some space there. Then we can get back to all the things that I was doing already. Even though I know the summer months are going to be a lot quieter. So I know that I was working in this hyperdrive, but that it was also having this kind of end date. But it's nice and comfortable now that there are a few things planned, at least. And I did not have anything planned before I started all this. So it is hard work to be self-employed. It is hard work to be a self-employed artist. You kind of have to be a bit business savvy, and you kind of have to be prepared to work hard sometimes. You don't have to work hard all the time, but sometimes it's just really grindy, and you just have to not have shame and reach out to anyone that you know. I also know this would be so different if I started out like if I just started out. But since I have built all those contacts already over the 7 years, and I know for workshops, for example, I already have my website set up. I just made it a little bit better, that people already reach out to me. I just have to kind of change the way that I go about emailing back to make sure that those people actually do get a workshop with me and they do actually continue working with me. So that's kind of what I wanted to share. It's been, I didn't really feel any time to film all this, so I did like snippets here, snippets there, and I wanted to gather all that into one video, and especially if you're interested in like what is how does an artist make money? How does an artist keep their business running for 7 years? Well, it's not always fun. It's sometimes just really hard. And this was really hard, but it's also the thing that is fun. Actually, I wanted to end on that. The reason that I am working so hard right now was because I realized, shit, maybe I have to stop. Maybe this is not going to work. And talking with my partner about that, since I'm not the only one in our house, made me realize I really want this. I do not want to do anything else. And that kind of gave me the energy to just go all out and go all out everywhere. And it's not something that I want to do forever. It's not like a life that I envision for myself, working that much and doing so many different things. But sometimes it is necessary kind of to kickstart a lot of different things at the same time, so you don't have to work as hard in the future.